Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hutco Roofing, HutcoRoofing.com, Restored Motions, RestoredMotions.com, and ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com. All right, y'all. Hail to the victors and all that jazz. Michigan wins the national championship as your boy predicted. So, not that was super going out on a limb. They were a favorite in the ball game, although Washington was a pretty public team last night. And I get it, man. Michael Penix in Washington had a really good season and pulled some upsets, beating Oregon in the Pac-12 championship game, beating Texas, both of which your boy predicted as well. I had a pretty good run there, man, in the postseason. You know, I'm a little short back pat there. If you were betting with Scone throughout the playoffs, you did pretty good. So had Michigan beating Alabama. Actually, I called all the playoffs correctly. So anyway, Michigan wins. They were deserving. And the thing about Michigan is, I think sometimes we highlight flaws of teams. To suggest like why they're not the greatest, which is true. Like, for example, I've gotten into this habit. It's kind of been a fun thing to do after every year's national championship game. I go on Twitter and I say, congratulations to 2023 Michigan. Great team. Now here's your reminder that 2019 LSU would have beaten you like a drum. And I post the video of Greenberg from Get Up the morning after LSU beat Clemson. And it goes, last year did 500,000. It's, I checked this morning, it's already close to 200,000. It's funny. It goes viral. People love it, but, it's an illustration of you can be a great team, and Michigan's a great team and a very deserving champion. It doesn't mean you're all time great. You're not every year. Your national champion isn't going to be an all time great team. But that's okay. You play in a vacuum in the given season that you play. And, but sometimes the best team, gets penalized in, the view of the public because of their schedule. I think that was the case with Michigan this year. That was the case with USC. Although some of those USC teams, which were awesome, but they played in an awful Pac-12. And yes, they played in a terrible conference. And so they played a weaker schedule, but it doesn't mean they weren't a great team. And I think that was the case with Michigan. I mean, Michigan played a heinous schedule this year. If you go look at 2023, strength of schedule rankings, Michigan's is, hang on, I'm looking for it right here. There's a lot of different metrics people use. I just Googled the first one that I saw. Michigan's strength of schedule is 51st. In the country, according to this one. For example, LSU was 14. Let me see what ESPN's strength of schedule was. All this to say, Michigan's strength of schedule was poor this year. There's not even really, there's no reason to even argue against it. They played two ranked teams all year. They played Penn State and Ohio State. I mean, Michigan's strength of schedule was poor. That's okay. I mean, you can't help the fact that your league was bad. I would say similar to Georgia. Georgia plays in the SEC East. Well, when you load up on Kentucky and South Carolina and Vanderbilt and Missouri and Florida when they're sub 500, well, that's just not as impressive as it could be in other years. 2019 LSU, beat 4 teams in the top 5. They beat 7 top 10 teams. So, it's a year-to-year thing. And all that to say, all right, here we go. Here's ESPN's FPI strength of schedule. ESPN's FPI strength of schedule has Michigan. Well, Michigan finished 7th, and that makes sense, actually, because now you look at it. They played Ohio State, and they played the Big Ten championship game against Iowa. Then they played Alabama, and then Washington. So they loaded up on the back end, but I would have loved to have seen that before the playoffs. But anyway, whatever. It doesn't matter. The point being, sometimes you can be the best team without playing the best schedule. I think that was Michigan. But Michigan had a glaring weakness, and it was their inability to throw the ball. And you saw it in the game if you were watching it, because Michigan after they just gashed Washington to begin the game running the football. I, I'm no like I'm no savant. I'm not like watching film every day and all that stuff. But I mean, I did play to a certain degree and know somewhat what I'm looking at. And with Michigan running the ball as effectively as they did on the first two drives, I'm not sure that I saw. I'm not saying I tracked every play, but I'm not sure I saw a play subsequent where where Washington didn't have numbers in the box, meaning Washington had more people in the box uh, than than Michigan could block. So if Michigan had five offensive linemen, Washington had six in the box. If Washington or Michigan had a tight end, Washington had seven. If Michigan went jumbo, Washington had eight or nine in the box. It's just like they had to defend the run with numbers. They did a good job, and they basically said you have to beat us throwing the football. And until McCarthy hit the 30-yarder to the tight end over the middle in the fourth quarter, they couldn't. So that was their glaring weakness, man. That was Michigan's glaring weakness. They could run the ball. They were a dominant defensive team, but they really didn't have dynamic receivers on the outside. And McCarthy's not a great player. So he's a good player. He's a good college football player. I don't get all the draft hype for J.J. McCarthy. But but anyway, so Michigan, really good team, deserving national champion, first time in 26 years. And that was a split title in '07 or in '97, excuse me, with Nebraska. So long time coming for Michigan. They're a good team. Now we all kind of sit, wait, and see what Jim Harbaugh does, see if he leaves for the NFL, if that job comes open, what happens there. But Michigan wins the Natty. And one more thing, real quick, and then I'll get to all your questions and stuff. I saw a lot of this on Twitter, and I understand Twitter is not representative of the entire human race. It's a small street corner where people congregate, and mostly just to complain and make fun of people. But I saw a lot of this on Twitter last night where people were sort of like diminishing Michael Penix's season after last night. Let's be very clear. Michael Penix is a freaking stud who had a great season, was worthy of being a Heisman finalist. And saying that doesn't in any way denigrate Jaden Daniels. Jaden had the best season in college football, one of the best seasons ever. He was deserving of winning the award, and he won the award, rightfully so. But in acknowledging that, you don't have to diminish Drew's awake. You have to diminish the season that Michael Penix had. Penix was awesome. When you look at last night's game, first of all, clearly that dude had broken ribs. That's number one. Number two, he also has foot stepped on by his offensive lineman, which bent awkwardly. I'm surprised it didn't break. So he's basically on one foot with broken ribs against the best defense in college football. And they got behind in that ball game, and they had to just throw every freaking play. And that kid got absolutely hammered the entire game. Like, that Michigan defensive line beat the ever-living hell out of Michael Penix in that game. So forgive me, like, I'm not going to criticize or diminish Michael Penix's season because his offensive line got wrecked. They ran the ball for 40 yards in the game, and he got just obliterated the entire night. I mean, Michigan they only had one sack in the game, but I'm trying to look for the quarterback hits in there. It's not on this. I'll find a box score somewhere else. But the point is, they beat the crap out of Michael Penix all night. 20 carries for 46 yards. Washington, 20 carries for 46 yards. They just couldn't block Michigan up front. All right, hang on. I think Drew's awake. I'll be right back. Hang on. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. You want to go say hi to Dad, Joe? Yeah. Okay, go say hi to Dad, Joe. Go say hi. Hang on, Dad. Let me get I'll move that little cable. Hang on. Hey. You want to come say hi? Look who's awake. Look who's awake early on a school day. Huh? I didn't have to wake you up. What do you say?
Hi, Dad.
Oh, that's so good. Say good morning. Hey, what day is today?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Where are you going to go on Tuesday? To New St. Lillian, which has been at the same campus now for about 5 years, but he keeps calling it the New St. Lillian because, old habits die hard. So, and who are we going to see today? Miss Cindy, and who else?
Claudette.
Miss Claudette, and who else?
Mom.
Molly. Who else? Who else is in your class?
Connor.
Who else? Who else is in your class? Can you tell me? Can you tell me who else? You can see Emma Grace. Emma Grace. Okay, he gone. He's done. All right, well, we'll see you later. Okay. Man, up and at 'em today. Okay. Drew is up and at 'em today. Hang on. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna come back to you. I need to give him a medicine. Hang on 1 second. Okay, sorry. I know this got a little disjointed. My apologies. Dad stuff, y'all get it. Okay, Megan Hurst, Bubba Smith, Jonathan Barr, Jerry DeLucky, good morning. Hope everyone made out okay with the weather. Yes, good point, Jerry. I know the weather yesterday was rough, so a lot of wind and hail and stuff. It is a reminder, HUDCO, we can help you out if you had hail or wind or think you might have had damage. Let us know. We'll come help you out. Anywhere in the state, HUDCOroofing.com. Randy Smith, any word or update on Smith, Frazier, and GD in the NFL? I see they go till next Monday piece. GD. GD. Oh, Dellinger, Garrett Dellinger. So, Randy, my understanding is that is that Frazier and Dellinger are both coming back. And that was a point why I know we talked about Lance Hurd, and that's one of the reasons why that doesn't sting quite as much. You're expecting to get four of your five offensive line starters back. So Campbell, Emory Jones, Dellinger, Frazier are all expected to come back next year. So they haven't made an announcement, but that's what I was told is they're expecting to come back. As far as Mason Smith, I don't know if y'all saw, but Mason Smith and Harold Perkins went on the private plane up to Missouri to go meet Blake Baker. So I think that's what I was told late last week, Thursday, Friday, was Mason Smith was very conflicted. I think he always envisioned going to school or going to the NFL for 3 years. I don't think necessarily he loves going to class, which is okay. There's a lot of guys who don't love going to class. I didn't like going to class. But I think he also realizes, man, you suck it up, and you from here, from this moment until next Thanksgiving or beyond, depending on how the season goes, you go all out. You can make yourself $10 million. One more year, it's a worthwhile investment in yourself. I think that's what he's trying to weigh. Vernell Thomas, good morning. The fact that we helped Atlanta get their coach fired and we still got our sorry coach is real disappointing. To still look on Twitter, well, sorry, that scrolled past. But yes, I largely agree. Drew's in there slamming the bathroom door. He's opening and slamming it, opening and slamming Cody Reeves, any word on when we'll hear the news on the rest of the staff, specifically Corey Raymond? No, I keep asking for a timeline, and no one seems to want to give me one, which tells me, I think, again, I want to tell you, I am guessing here. I'm legitimately telling you, this isn't me telling you the story without telling you the story. I'm guessing here because I can't get anyone to tell me. I'm guessing that what they're trying to do is assemble the staff and then announce it all at once. That's what I'm guessing they're doing. Christian Geiger, Brian Broom, Charlie Cavell, Trey Fisher, good morning. Not that I was rooting for Michigan, but do the Wolverines block and tackle so well? The defense just tackles so well in space. It's so true. I mean, they were the best defense in college football, and that was a big part of it. They tackled really well, and they're very physical at the line of scrimmage. Craig Duga, sorry I've been away. Been recovering from the flu. How about the Bayou Bengals? From Matt McMeh to Matt McMaybe. Well done, Craig. You play tonight. Hey, look, they play tonight. Go get a win over Vandy. You should. Trey Potan, good morning. Rocky Killian, what's going on? Alan Coleman. Craig Duga, buy or sell Georgia would have beaten Michigan this year. No, I think Michigan would have beaten Georgia. By the way, I had Bama beating Georgia in the SEC championship game as well. I really did have a good postseason. I did. I had Bama beating Georgia. I had Washington beating Oregon. I picked both semifinals correctly and the championship game correctly. I had a pretty good one. I had a good run there in the postseason. Made a little money too. Rick Kelly, Noah Cain declared for the draft. Yes, he did. Smart move by Noah Cain. He's battled injuries. Just go see if he can make a roster. Michael Cook, Jim Arsenault, Quentin Breakbill. What's up, y'all? Good morning. Good morning. What's up, YouTube? Y'all please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe up to the channel. Pat Houston, James McKinney, Brian Wynn, Brad David. What's up? Trivia Carter, Wendell Norman, Daniel Roof. Good to see everybody here this morning. William Moore, Matt Lynn, Mike the Tiger, Jaden Daniels, Heisman. Jason H. Let's see the shoes. Don't have them on yet, Jason, but going with the high top Air Force Ones. I love these too. They got a little cork on the back, and then they have a little design here on the heel. So I like these a lot. So tonight, by the way, is Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame is doing a Champions of the Diamond event over at L'Auberge. And Victor Howell was supposed to be emceeing the panel, and he got the flu. So Ronnie asked me if I could pinch hit Ronnie Rance. So he actually asked me yesterday right as I was to start my show. So I'll actually be over there at L'Auberge for that tonight. Really cool. I'm pretty fired up. So, I mean, you've got a coaches panel with Skip Ertman, Jay Johnson, Paul Maneri, Mike Bianco. I feel like I'm leaving someone off there. Ron Washington was supposed to, but I just got hired by the Angels, so I think he's out. But the player panel, Ben McDonald, Will Harris, Ryan Terrio, Dylan Cruz will be there, and then Roger Clemens is the guest of honor who's going to be on the players panel as well. So I get to moderate a panel with Roger Clemens on. I'm pretty fired up. I mean, he's a Yankee guy. I'm pretty fired up about that tonight. So if you don't have anything to do tonight, that Champions of the Diamond event over at L'Auberge benefiting the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame, I'm pretty fired up for it. So. Pat Huseman, DA, cleaned out his office yet? Not that I know, Pat. Father J. D. Mathern, good morning from snowy Chicago. I knew the Michigan win was going to happen when I saw the OTs for Washington were the size of tight ends. Yeah. Boy, 73 had a rough go of it last night as well. There was a spot in the game where Michigan was running roughshod over Washington. Washington adjusted to stack the box. Michigan started throwing, and that's when they opened the door, obviously, for Michigan or for Washington to get back in it. Washington scored right before half, which was massive. So you go to half 17-10, and Washington was getting the ball to start the second half. They threw the pick, and Michigan got a field goal to go up 10. They kind of kept them at arm's length, but there was about 12 minutes to go, 11 minutes to go. Michigan got the ball, and it felt like, all right, they're probably going to lean on them here. This is their shot. Lean on them, go chew about 5-6 minutes, put a touchdown on the board, and end this thing. And they went 3 and out. Michigan went 3 and out. They punted to Washington. I tweeted at the time, I'm like, man, you're playing with fire. If you keep giving Michael Penix and these receivers this many chances, eventually going to burn you. And sure enough, they hit that 44-yarder to Roman Dunze. and it got called back because of holding. Hey, okay, let's see. Good job. Good job. Good job, good job, good job. Thanks for letting me know your backpack was all finished. Got to give your other 2 meds, by the way. Well, I guess we'll do it later then. That's your boss. He just ran away from me. The boss has spoken. He's out there playing with a singing snowman, singing Holly Jolly Christmas. Please smash the like button if you would. There on YouTube. Subscribe up to the channel. Facebook. Please like the Matt Moscona page. Share the post. Remind about Brock. I got a meeting today at Brock. Excited that. Brock's got a new marketing director. So Kate, I'm excited to go meet Kate today and talk about plans and strategies for 2020, 2024 and beyond. So excited for that. Love our relationship with Brock. They've been good to us here for so long, and I mean Brock's they're obviously the best. So like to partner with the best, and Brock is the best. And of course, HUDCO, y'all, HUDCOroofing.com. Reminder, awful weather yesterday, all across the state, school closures and everything, hail. If you had that inclement weather, think you might have had roof damage, HUDCO, our crews are out rolling today, doing inspections. So we'd love to give you that free, no obligation roofing inspection. Go to HUDCOroofing.com. The HUDCO site is pinned right there in the chat. So just go to HUDCOroofing.com. Fill out the form on the homepage. Someone will be in touch with you. Or you could literally just email me, Matt@HUDCOroofing.com, if you prefer. Like literally just email me, Matt@HUDCOroofing.com, and I'll happily I'll help facilitate that for you. So, okay. Let's get my sneaks right, bro. Let's get my sneaks right. Big boy. I'm get to stomping in my Air Force Ones. Big boy. Stomping in my Air Force Ones. All right. Wacky Chris, good morning. Last night reinforced Penix not winning the Heisman, at least in my mind. That's, again, I thought about that at the beginning of the show. It's a weak argument, Chris. Jaden winning the Heisman, you don't have to diminish Michael Penix to prop up Jaden Daniels winning the Heisman. Both were magnificent, and Michael Penix was awesome. And if you watch that game and you put that loss on Michael Penix, man, you are lost. Penix was awesome. Actually, what it proves is you didn't watch him play at all this year. He was awesome this season, and they got run over last night by the best defense in college football, and he was harassed all night. They couldn't run the ball at all. They had no semblance of balance. And you say, well, Jaden Daniels would have dot. Yeah, Jaden won the Heisman. He was the best player, deserved it. And Jaden made plays with his feet, and it was dynamic and awesome for all the reasons, which is why he deserved it. But you don't have to diminish Michael Penix to prop up Jaden Daniels. Let Jaden's accomplishments stand on their own because he was great. Christian, more about the blue chip ratio never fails. Good point. I need to go look that up today, see where Michigan was. Good point. Alex Barnes, John Gruden to the Saints, at least some interest. I don't think Dennis Allen's getting fired. Brad David, do you think 2019 LSU is better than 01 Miami? I do. Actually did a full comp on Ryan Clark's podcast back in 20, I guess it would have been early 2020. The Face First podcast that Ryan did before he started doing Pivot. And he had Clinton Portis on the podcast with him and let Portis spew all of his 01 Miami propaganda. And then I came behind him and verbally smacked him in the mouth. Dalton, actually, let me look that up. Hang on real quick, see if I can find it. Here it is. Hang on. I gotta find it. I gotta find the episode. Oh wait, here we go. Here it is. I got it. All right, hang on. I'm gonna copy this. All right. I'm gonna post the link in the chat. This is an episode of the Face First podcast with Ryan Clark. where he had Clinton Portis, who was on 0-1 Miami, who came on to spew all of his drivel about 0-1 Miami, and then I came behind him and made the case for LSU 2019. So if you're interested, go watch it. That's a Scone with hair, and Scone that got very angry, red-faced, sweaty, yelling, slapping the table, all that sort of stuff. Check it out. James McKinney, is LSU going to have a press conference for Blake? I'm certain they will. Devin Kelly, morning, Matt. Screw Michigan. They were obviously the better team. Washington's D.C. deserves props for making adjustments. 150 rushing yards in the first quarter, shut them down for second and third quarter. They did. They loaded the box, and Michigan was unable to beat them throwing the football, which was Michigan's glaring weakness, which is why Michigan is not an all-time great team, because they could not throw the football at an elite level. If they were able to throw the football, they would have blown the doors off of Washington. But once Washington started crowding the box, they said, we're going to make J.J. McCarthy beat us through the air, and he couldn't. You had a tight ball game. Zach Swan, good morning. Cody Kibido, morning, Matt. Joel Williams is the cornerback. Yes, thank you. Someone else. It was Rick. Rick Manuel, I believe, who messaged me on Facebook yesterday, telling me the same thing. Thank you. Yes. Joel Williams was the cornerback from Kentucky. I couldn't remember. Joel Williams transferred to Memphis. So when the portal opened, I was told 3 names of guys from Louisiana who had gone somewhere else that LSU was targeting. Cameron Richardson, who left Mississippi State for Ole Miss. Jair Brown, who LSU got from Ohio State. And Joel Williams was the third. Thank you. From Kentucky, who is now transferred to Memphis. Thank you. That was the third. David Bass, morning, Matt. Can't believe I woke up to people claiming Michigan is the greatest. It took early, missed holding penalties for you to score. I don't know about that. Michigan was great. They were great. Michigan was a great team this year. Not the greatest team ever, not even close. Jeff Hawk, good morning. Trivia, did you hear Shannon Sharp complain about the Saints touchdown? I did, and I heard basically every other player that ever played in the NFL say they were fine with it. Except Todd McClure, who played for the Atlanta Falcons, who gave me the whole unwritten rules and code and ethics of the game and blah, 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 blah. But meanwhile, Cam Jordan and Benjamin Watson and other great players, Marcus Spears and Tiki Barber on the broadcast and endless amounts of players, the whole Saints team were all okay with doing it. So I'll go with the majority of current and former NFL players who were okay with scoring that touchdown, the manner in which they did. Damon Gilmore, Jonathan O. Morning, Matt. Sorry if you have addressed this. LSU jumped on a DC quick. Can we assume OC will be Sloan since we've heard nothing about the OC search? Jonathan, I think there might be some momentum trending behind that. And actually, one thing I heard yesterday was presenting the possibility of keeping Sloan and Hankton as co-OCs with Joe Sloan calling the plays. So I don't think that's, I want to be very clear. I don't think that is final, set, determined, set in stone, anything like that. But I do think that is a possibility of keeping what you had in the bowl game where Sloan and Hankton are co-OCs, but Sloan calls the plays. All right, a couple more minutes, y'all. Devin Kelly, Michigan's defense is stout. They bothered Penix all night, caused him to be inaccurate. Yeah, he was harassed all night long. There's no doubt. Tim C., morning, Matt. If I was Brian Kelly, I would head to Pittsburgh and make Carl Dunbar tell me no. I know a lot of people would say he prefers the NFL over college. It would be a great hire. That's another LSU guy, another Pete Jenkins guy, Carl Dunbar. But the name that I keep hearing now for defensive line is Kevin Peoples. Kevin Peoples was Missouri's defensive line coach this year under Blake Baker, and it sounds like they're trying to get Kevin Peoples here. Another guy that is coached trained under Pete Jenkins as well. So, I think they trust Coach Pete and his lineage and his coaching tree. And why wouldn't you? I mean, he's quite literally the greatest defensive line coach ever. So, yeah. Jesse Brown, good morning. Enjoy the content. Thank you, Jesse. Jude Sansing, good morning. Devin, J.J. McCarthy make a great third-string quarterback in the NFL. I don't understand. Someone with a really savvy scouting mind acumen is going to have to explain to me the J.J. McCarthy angle as far as a draft pick, because I don't see it. I'm not saying I'm right, but I don't see it. Anyway, okay. Irfan Sayad, Jared Roach, what's going on? Good morning, y'all. Jason H. Just about done, y'all. It's 8. I got to get Drew ready and get him off to school. So see if there's any I missed real quickly. Wayne Blanchard, Brandon Hoyt. There you are, Rick. Appreciate it, man, for the help yesterday, for the assist. Rick asked for the HUDCO jingle. You know what, Rick? Since this is shameless promotion on my part, and because you helped me with Joel Rogers' name, here you go. Here you go.
When you need a roof, call someone you know. Scone, Ontario.
All you need is HUDCO.
Call HUDCO Roofing.
364.
1007.
Stevie Wonder on YouTube. This song slaps. Hey, man, that's Toby Tomplay and Shelly Brown Tomplay. Toby is the king of the jingle, the king of the earworm. Of course, he's the one who did the After Further Review theme song, and quite honestly, dozens of jingles that you've heard on our station and other business for years. You just didn't know it was him. Super talented musicians, both of them, Toby and Shelly. So, yeah, they nailed it. Okay, I gotta go. Y'all have an awesome day. Please smash the like button on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. We'll see you for AFR 3. Peace.